Kamala Harris is a name that resonates with many in American politics. From her early career as a prosecutor to her current role as vice president, Harris's trajectory has been marked by groundbreaking accomplishments and a commitment to justice and equality.
Her story is not just one of personal and professional success. It intertwines with broader themes of social progress and civil rights in the United States.
Born in Oakland, California on October 20th, 1964, Kamala Devi Harris was the daughter of Shyamala Gopalan, a biomedical scientist from India, and Donald Harris, an economist from Jamaica. This multicultural background provided experiences and perspectives that shaped her approach to public service.
Growing up in a household that valued education and activism, Harris was exposed early on to the principles of justice and equality that would later define her career.
The path from Oakland to Washington, D.C. was neither straightforward nor easy. Harris faced numerous challenges, navigating a landscape often unforgiving to women of color. However, her resilience and dedication to her values enabled her to overcome these obstacles and emerge as a formidable force in American politics.
Each step in her career has been a testament to her ability to break barriers and set new precedents, making her one of the most influential figures in contemporary politics.
As we delve into the life and career of Kamala Harris, it is essential to understand the context in which she has operated. Her story is not just about individual achievement, it is also about broader societal shifts, allowing for greater diversity and representation in political leadership. Harris's journey reflects a changing America, one increasingly inclusive and open to different voices and experiences. The announcement of Kamala Harris's candidacy for the 2024 presidential election marks a significant milestone. This moment is the culmination of years of hard work and a steadfast commitment to public service. Harris's decision to run for president in 2024 did not come out of the blue. It began with her tenure as the Attorney General of California, followed by her role as a U.S. Senator, and then as the Vice President. Each position has equipped her with the experience necessary to take on the highest office. Her candidacy signifies a shift towards greater inclusivity and representation in American politics. The significance of Kamala Harris's candidacy for the presidency of the United States cannot be overstated. As the first woman, African American and South Asian American woman nominated for vice president, Harris has already made history. Her bid for the presidency in 2024 continues this trend, breaking new ground in American politics.
Her candidacy underscores the progress in diversity and representation, and the work still needed.
Harris's candidacy has the potential to inspire a new generation of leaders. Her story is one of perseverance, resilience, and a deep commitment to public service. For many, Harris's journey is a powerful reminder that anything is possible with hard work and determination. Kamala Harris's childhood in Oakland, California, was a unique blend of cultures and experiences. Born to a Jamaican father and an Indian mother, she grew up surrounded by diversity. This upbringing shaped her worldview and commitment to inclusivity. Oakland in the 1960s and 70s was a city in flux, grappling with social justice. Growing up in this environment fostered her awareness of social issues. Her immigrant parents instilled in her the belief in equality for all. The streets of Oakland became her first classroom, teaching her about urban life and resilience. These formative years influenced her values and path to public service.
Kamala Harris's mother, Shyamala Gopalan, instilled in her a strong work ethic, a passion for science, and a commitment to social justice. A renowned biomedical scientist, Gopalan immigrated to the United States to pursue her doctorate.
Gopalan's influence extended beyond academics, instilling in Kamala a deep sense of empathy and responsibility. Weekend trips to civil rights marches exposed Kamala to the power of collective action.
Gopalan's experiences as a woman of color in science left an indelible mark on Kamala. Kamala learned resilience and the importance of speaking truth to power.
These lessons shaped Kamala's leadership and commitment to equality.
Kamala Harris's father, Donald Harris, a Stanford University economics professor hailing from Jamaica, brought his own unique perspective to their multicultural household. A respected scholar specializing in economic inequality and social justice, his work centered on understanding the root causes of poverty and advocating for policies that promote economic empowerment. These principles became ingrained in Kamala's understanding of the world, shaping her views on social mobility and her commitment to addressing systemic inequities.
Dinner table conversations often revolved around complex issues like income inequality, racial disparities, and the legacy of colonialism. Donald Harris encouraged his daughters to think critically about these issues, to question assumptions, and to use their voices to advocate for a more just and equitable world. These discussions weren't merely academic exercises, they were fueled by a deep passion for social justice and a belief in the power of collective action to create meaningful change.
Donald Harris's own experiences as a black man navigating the complexities of American society in the 1960s and 70s provided Kamala with a first-hand understanding of the challenges faced by marginalized communities. She witnessed the ways in which systemic racism and discrimination manifested in everyday life, and she learned the importance of standing up for what is right, even in the face of adversity.
The combination of Donald Harris's intellectual rigor and his unwavering commitment to social justice had a profound impact on Kamala's development. It instilled in her a deep sense of empathy, a passion for understanding complex issues, and a belief in the power of policy to create a more just and equitable world. These values would later become central to her work as a prosecutor, a senator, and ultimately as a candidate for the presidency.
Kamala Harris's childhood was steeped in activism, with her parents actively engaging in the social justice movements of the 1960s and 70s. From attending civil rights marches to participating in protests against the Vietnam War, young Kamala had a front-row seat to the power of collective action. These early experiences instilled in her a deep sense of social responsibility and a belief in the power of ordinary people to make a difference.
One poignant memory involves being wheeled in her stroller to a civil rights march in Oakland. A fellow protester noticed young Kamala fidgeting in her stroller and asked, "What do you want?" Kamala shouted back, "Freedom." A family united by values, education, equality, and service. Kamala Harris's upbringing emphasized family, education, and service. Shyamala and Donald Harris prioritized their daughters' education and personal growth. They instilled a love of learning and a strong work ethic. Mealtimes were filled with discussions about history, politics, and current events. Service to others was paramount in the Harris household. They dedicated countless hours to mentoring and advocating for social justice. This instilled in Kamala a deep sense of responsibility to make a difference. These values would guide her life and career. They shaped her commitment to public service and social justice. Education at Howard University. Kamala Harris's journey led her to Howard University, a historically black university in Washington, D.C. She immersed herself in an environment that celebrated black excellence and nurtured a deep understanding of the African American experience. At Howard, she was part of a vibrant community that resonated with her values and aspirations. The historically black college experience is unique and transformative, providing a space for students to explore their identities and engage in critical discussions about race, equality, and social justice. For Harris, Howard offered a profound sense of belonging and an opportunity to delve deeper into the complexities of the black experience in America. Howard University provided a stimulating intellectual environment that challenged Harris to think critically and engage in rigorous academic discourse. She pursued a degree in political science and economics, reflecting her interest in understanding the levers of power and the dynamics of social change. Her time at Howard wasn't solely focused on academics. She actively participated in campus life, joining the debate team, pledging Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated, and immersing herself in the rich cultural tapestry of the university. These experiences honed her leadership skills, her ability to articulate complex arguments persuasively, and her understanding of the importance of community building and collective action. This foundation at Howard would prove invaluable as she embarked on her career path, shaping her approach to leadership, her commitment to social justice, and her ability to connect with people from diverse backgrounds. Section 2, Law School at UC Hastings, honing legal skills and advocacy. After Howard University, Kamala Harris attended UC Hastings College of the Law in San Francisco. She honed her legal skills, developed advocacy abilities, and immersed herself in the legal system. Law school demanded rigorous analytical thinking and persuasive argumentation. Harris thrived in debates, dissecting complex cases and understanding the law. She recognized the power of the legal system to effect change and advocate for the marginalized. Her passion for social justice found a new outlet in the legal arena. Harris sought opportunities to apply her legal skills in real-world settings. She interned at the San Francisco DA's office, gaining first-hand experience in the criminal justice system. Harris also became actively involved in the student government. She served as president of the Black Law Students Association, advocating for diversity and inclusion. These experiences shaped her leadership style and commitment to a just society. A prosecutor's path seeking justice in Alameda County. Kamala Harris began her legal career as a prosecutor in Alameda County in 1990. She believed the courtroom was a powerful arena for justice, holding offenders accountable and advocating for victims. Harris quickly gained a reputation for her sharp intellect and unwavering commitment. Her colleagues praised her dedication and ability to connect with juries. She approached cases with empathy, recognizing the real people impacted by crime. Her work in domestic violence cases ignited a passion for victims' rights and criminal justice reform. Section 4, San Francisco District Attorney's Office, taking on tougher challenges. In 2000, Kamala Harris's career took a significant step forward when she joined the San Francisco District Attorney's Office as a managing attorney. This move brought her to a larger office with a higher profile, presenting her with more complex cases and greater responsibilities. She embraced these challenges head-on, quickly establishing herself as a skilled and experienced prosecutor with a reputation for integrity and a commitment to seeking justice. Within the San Francisco District Attorney's Office, Harris focused on prosecuting violent crimes, particularly those involving gangs, guns, and drug trafficking. These were often high-stakes cases requiring meticulous investigation, careful legal strategy, and the ability to present compelling arguments in court. Harris thrived in this demanding environment, earning the respect of her colleagues, her superiors, and even her adversaries. Beyond her courtroom prowess, Harris demonstrated a commitment to innovation and reform within the criminal justice system. She played a key role in creating the Career Criminal Unit, which focused on prosecuting repeat offenders and addressing recidivism rates. Recognizing that incarceration alone was not always the most effective solution, she also championed alternative sentencing programs that aimed to address the root causes of criminal behavior and provide opportunities for rehabilitation. Harris's work in San Francisco garnered her recognition not just within the legal community, but also among community leaders and activists who saw her as a powerful advocate for justice and reform. Her willingness to challenge the status quo, to seek out innovative solutions, and to engage with communities most impacted by the criminal justice system set her apart as a rising star in San Francisco politics. Recognition and impact in San Francisco. As Kamala Harris's career progressed, her public profile grew. Her innovative approaches to criminal justice reform attracted attention. She became a sought-after speaker, advocating for changes in the criminal justice system. Harris's ability to connect with people resonated with audiences. In 2003, she defeated Terrence Hallinan to become San Francisco District Attorney. At 38, she became the first woman, African-American and South Asian American, to hold the office. Her tenure solidified her reputation and set the stage for her rise in American politics. San Francisco District Attorney, a platform for reform. Kamala Harris's election as San Francisco's District Attorney in 2003 marked a turning point, transitioning her from a skilled prosecutor to a political leader. Her victory was historic, as she became the first woman, African American and South Asian American, to hold this position. This signaled a desire for change and recognized Harris's fresh perspective and innovative ideas. Harris's tenure was defined by a commitment to justice and reform. She balanced public safety with addressing systemic issues impacting communities of color. Harris established a unit to investigate officer-involved shootings, showing her commitment to transparency. She required police to videotape interrogations of homicide suspects to prevent false confessions. Harris implemented progressive initiatives, including job training for first-time drug offenders and support for children witnessing domestic violence. Her holistic approach aimed to create a safer and more just society. A focus on innovation addressing systemic issues. Kamala Harris's tenure as San Francisco District Attorney was marked by a willingness to challenge the status quo and seek out innovative solutions. She embraced data-driven approaches and wasn't afraid to experiment with new ideas. One of her signature initiatives was the Back on Track program, targeting young adults facing first-time felony drug charges. Instead of incarceration, the program offered job training, education, and counseling. The results spoke for themselves, with participants significantly less likely to re-offend. Harris also focused on addressing racial disparities within the criminal justice system, balancing justice and reform, the dual roles of a prosecutor. As San Francisco's District Attorney, Kamala Harris faced the challenge of balancing justice for victims with reforming a flawed system. This dual role required tough decisions and navigating ethical dilemmas. She was a staunch advocate for victims' rights, especially in cases of domestic violence and sexual assault. Harris also criticized mass incarceration and racial disparities in the system. She believed in being both tough and smart on crime, striving for a fair and effective justice system. Section 4. California's top law enforcement officer, the Attorney General years. In 2010, Kamala Harris's political career reached new heights when she was elected Attorney General of California. She became the first woman, the first African American, and the first South Asian American to hold this prestigious position. As the state's top law enforcement officer, she was responsible for overseeing a vast legal apparatus, representing California in court and setting legal priorities for a state with a population larger than many countries. Harris's tenure as Attorney General was marked by a number of high-profile legal battles and policy initiatives that reflected her commitment to social justice, consumer protection, and criminal justice reform. She took on powerful interests, including big banks, for-profit colleges, and the Trump administration, earning a reputation as a fearless advocate for the people of California. One of Harris's most notable achievements as Attorney General was her role in securing a $25 billion settlement from major mortgage lenders for their role in the foreclosure crisis that devastated the housing market and left millions of Americans struggling to keep their homes. The settlement provided much-needed relief to California homeowners facing foreclosure and set a precedent for holding financial institutions accountable for their actions. Harris also made significant strides in the area of criminal justice reform. She implemented a number of initiatives aimed at reducing recidivism rates, including programs that provided job training, housing assistance, and other support services to formerly incarcerated individuals. She also championed the use of body cameras by law enforcement officers, believing that increased transparency would help build trust between police and the communities they serve. Section 5. National Stage, Election to the United States Senate. In 2016, Kamala Harris's political career took another significant leap forward when she was elected to the United States Senate, representing California. Her victory, which made her the second African American woman and the first South Asian American woman to serve in the Senate, propelled her onto the national stage and positioned her as a rising star within the Democratic Party. Harris's arrival in the Senate coincided with a tumultuous period in American politics, as Donald Trump's presidency ushered in an era of deep partisan divisions and a rollback of many progressive policies. Undeterred, Harris quickly established herself as a forceful advocate for progressive values, using her platform to speak out against Trump's policies on immigration, healthcare, and climate change. Harris's sharp intellect, her prosecutorial background, and her ability to articulate complex issues in a clear and concise manner made her a formidable presence in Senate hearings. she gained national attention for her tough questioning of Trump administration officials, including then Attorney General Jeff Sessions and Supreme Court nominee Brett Kavanaugh, during televised hearings that captivated the nation. Her performances in these hearings showcased her legal acumen, her tenacity, and her unwavering commitment to seeking the truth. Beyond her high-profile confrontations with the Trump administration, Harris also focused on legislative priorities that reflected her long-standing commitment to social justice and equality. She introduced bills to address issues such as criminal justice reform, gun violence prevention, affordable housing, and climate change. While many of these bills faced an uphill battle in a Republican-controlled Senate, they helped to solidify Harris's reputation as a champion for progressive values and a voice for the voiceless. Section 6. A voice for justice and equality impact on national policy. Kamala Harris's tenure in the Senate has been marked by a commitment to justice, equality, and opportunity. She has consistently spoken out against injustice and challenged the status quo. Her impact on national policy debates, particularly in criminal justice reform, has been significant. Harris has been a vocal critic of mass incarceration and racial disparities. She has introduced legislation on bail reform and re-entry programs. Her advocacy has contributed to growing bipartisan support for change. On immigration, she has opposed hardline policies and introduced legislation to protect dreamers. Harris has also been a vocal defender of voting rights, calling them the foundation of our democracy. Her advocacy has made her a leading voice in the fight against voter suppression. A historic candidacy launching the 2020 campaign. On January 21, 2019, Kamala Harris officially announced her candidacy for president. Her entry into the Democratic primary was met with excitement and anticipation. Her candidacy was about representation, inspiration, and shattering barriers. Launching on Martin Luther King Jr., Day underscored her commitment to social justice. Her announcement laid out a vision for America, grounded in the needs of everyday people. She addressed income inequality, healthcare, climate change, and criminal justice reform. These issues resonated with voters across the political spectrum. Center stage key moments and defining issues. Kamala Harris's 2020 campaign was marked by key moments and defining issues, from her powerful debate performances to her stance on criminal justice reform and healthcare. A memorable moment was her confrontation with Joe Biden on race. The exchange went viral, sparking a national conversation. Harris emphasized criminal justice reform and healthcare throughout her campaign, a campaign of firsts, representation, and inspiration. Kamala Harris's 2020 presidential campaign was historic, not just for her policies, but for what it represented. As the first Black and South Asian American woman to run, she shattered barriers and inspired millions. For many, her candidacy was a source of immense pride and inspiration. They saw in her a reflection of their own experiences and aspirations. Her candidacy sent a powerful message to young Black girls that anything is possible. Harris's candidacy resonated deeply with South Asian Americans, challenging stereotypes. She broadened the definition of what it means to be American. She spoke openly about her Indian heritage and immigrant story. Her candidacy held special significance for women, representing a new generation of leadership. She inspired countless women to believe in themselves and pursue their dreams. Section 4. A new chapter, transition to the vice presidency. In August 2020, Joe Biden selected Kamala Harris as his running mate, making her the first Black woman and South Asian American woman nominated for vice president by a major party. Her acceptance speech at the Democratic National Convention was powerful, reflecting on her journey, her family's immigrant story, and her vision for a just America. Her prosecutorial skills shone during the vice presidential debate, effectively challenging the Trump administration's record. On November 3, 2020, Biden and Harris were elected, defeating Trump and Pence. Harris's historic election shattered barriers and inspired millions worldwide. Section 5. Shaping the agenda, policy priorities, and key contributions. Since assuming office as Vice President, Kamala Harris has played a pivotal role in shaping the Biden administration's agenda, leveraging her experience, expertise, and passion for social justice to advance key policy priorities. From tackling the root causes of migration from Central America to championing voting rights and expanding access to affordable broadband, Harris has been a driving force behind many of the administration's most significant achievements. One of Harris's most prominent roles has been leading the administration's efforts to address the root causes of migration from Central America. Tasked with tackling a complex and long-standing challenge, Harris has focused on addressing the underlying factors that drive migration, such as poverty, violence, and climate change. She has worked to forge partnerships with governments, businesses, and civil society organizations in the region to promote economic development, combat corruption, and address the effects of climate change. In addition to her work on migration, Harris has also been a leading voice within the administration on issues such as voting rights, economic justice, and racial equity. She has been a vocal critic of voter suppression efforts and has worked to expand access to voting, particularly for marginalized communities. She's also championed policies to address income inequality, such as raising the minimum wage, expanding access to affordable childcare, and making college more affordable. Harris's deep commitment to racial justice has also been evident in her work as Vice President. She has played a key role in advancing the administration's efforts to address systemic racism in policing, housing, healthcare, and other areas. She has also been a strong advocate for police reform, calling for greater accountability and transparency in law enforcement. Section 6. Breaking Barriers, Making History, the Impact of a Historic Vice Presidency. Kamala Harris's vice presidency represents a watershed moment in American history, shattering barriers and paving the way for a more inclusive and representative democracy. Her presence in the White House is a powerful symbol of progress, a testament to the hard-won battles for civil rights and social justice. Her legacy will be defined by her actions and the inspiration she has ignited in millions. The first woman, first black woman, and first South Asian American woman to serve as Vice President of the United States. Harris's vice presidency inspires countless individuals, especially young girls of color, to dream big. The path to 2024, building on a foundation of experience. Kamala Harris leverages her extensive experience and commitment to justice to chart a course for a more perfect union. Her career has been marked by strategic moves and a relentless pursuit of excellence. From prosecutor to vice president, Harris has consistently made a tangible difference. Each step has provided valuable lessons in leadership and policymaking. Her experience honed her skills in legal analysis and persuasive advocacy. As Attorney General and Senator, she navigated state and federal government intricacies. As Vice President, she gained insights into foreign policy and national security. Representing the US on the world stage, she advocates for American interests. Her experience provides a deep understanding of global affairs. Harris's path is also shaped by her personal story and values. As the daughter of immigrants, she embodies the American dream. Her commitment to justice and equality will shape her vision for the future. A Vision for America, Key Policy Priorities and Campaign Themes. Kamala Harris's vision for America is rooted in diversity, innovation, and justice. Her campaign focuses on economic justice, climate change, healthcare, and education. Central to her platform is economic justice and equal opportunity. This includes raising the minimum wage, expanding healthcare access, and making college affordable. She also champions infrastructure and clean energy jobs. Harris is committed to addressing climate change, reducing emissions, and investing in renewable energy. She prioritizes healthcare, education, and criminal justice reform. Harris advocates for policies addressing racial disparities and reducing recidivism. Section 3. The stakes, a nation at a crossroads and the promise of leadership. The 2024 election is pivotal, demanding strong, compassionate leadership. COVID-19 exposed inequalities, highlighting the need for affordable healthcare and a more equitable economy. Climate change demands bold action to reduce emissions and invest in renewable energy. Political polarization threatens democracy, fueled by misinformation and declining civic engagement. Trust in institutions is eroding, making common ground elusive. The 2024 election is a chance to restore faith in government and chart a just, equitable future. Kamala Harris's candidacy offers experienced, aspirational leadership grounded in diversity and justice. Section 1. A legacy of breaking barriers and championing justice. Kamala Harris's journey from her childhood in Oakland to her current position as vice president and now a candidate for the presidency is a testament to the power of perseverance, the importance of representation, and the enduring promise of the American dream. Throughout her career, she has consistently shattered glass ceilings, becoming the first woman, the first African American, and the first South Asian American to hold a series of high-profile positions, each time expanding the boundaries of what is possible for women and people of color in America. But Harris's legacy extends far beyond her historic firsts. It is also defined by her unwavering commitment to justice, equality, and opportunity for all. From her early days as a prosecutor seeking justice for victims of crime to her work as Attorney General and Senator championing criminal justice reform, protecting consumers, and advocating for the marginalized, Harris has consistently used her platform to lift up the voices of the voiceless and fight for a more equitable society. Her journey has not been without its challenges. She has faced criticism, scrutiny, and even outright hostility from those who would seek to maintain the status quo. Yet she has never wavered in her commitment to her values or her belief in the power of collective action to create meaningful change. As we reflect on Harris's legacy, it's important to recognize that her story is still being written. Her journey is a testament to the ongoing struggle for civil rights and social justice in America, a reminder that progress is not inevitable and that each generation must rise to meet the challenges of its time. Section 2. The potential of a Harris presidency shaping America's future. Kamala Harris's candidacy represents a unique opportunity to build a brighter future for all Americans. Her vision is rooted in the belief that America's diversity is its strength and that innovation is essential to its prosperity. A Harris presidency would address economic inequality, climate change, healthcare, education, and criminal justice reform. Her experience as a prosecutor, attorney general, senator, and vice president has provided her with a deep understanding of these complex issues. On the economy, Harris is expected to prioritize policies that create jobs, raise wages, and expand opportunity for all Americans. This includes investments in infrastructure, clean energy, education, and job training. She has also spoken about the need to address income inequality and ensure financial security for all. On climate change, Harris has pledged to take bold action to reduce emissions and invest in renewable energy. Her plan includes rejoining the Paris Climate Agreement and promoting energy efficiency standards. She has also spoken about the need to address the disproportionate impact of climate change on marginalized communities. On healthcare, Harris supports expanding access to affordable healthcare. She is likely to push for policies that build on the Affordable Care Act and move the country closer to universal coverage. Section 3. A call to action, engaging in the democratic process. The 2024 presidential election presents a pivotal moment for the United States. The choices made by voters will have far-reaching consequences, shaping the nation's future for generations to come. As citizens of a democracy, it is our responsibility to engage in the political process, to make our voices heard and to hold our elected officials accountable. Kamala Harris's candidacy offers a vision of leadership that is both experienced and aspirational, grounded in the belief that America's greatest strength lies in its diversity, its spirit of innovation, and its unwavering commitment to justice and equality for all. Her campaign is an invitation to embrace a more inclusive and equitable future, one where everyone has the opportunity to succeed regardless of their background or zip code. But the responsibility for creating that future rests not just with our elected officials, but with each and every one of us. We must stay informed about the issues, engage in thoughtful dialogue, and hold our leaders accountable for their actions. We must vote in every election, from local school board races to presidential elections, recognizing that our democracy is strongest when everyone participates. The 2024 election is not just about choosing a president, it is about choosing the kind of country we want to be. It is about deciding whether we will continue down a path of division and discord, or whether we will choose unity, hope, and a brighter future for all. It is a call to action for all Americans to stand up, speak out, and make their voices heard.